Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I'm joined by the infamous Craig Sullivan, the property apprentice, the student HMO king, and most recently the crypto hype man. You've done lots of other podcasts and stuff, Craig, so I'll kick straight into it. And you know, everyone knows that you're a HMO man, you're a student-let man, and you've built up an amazing portfolio. But thanks for coming on, first of all.
No, my pleasure, man. Anytime. I love talking property, and yeah, I love what you're doing, and so yeah, happy to be here, man.
Good. And you know, as I've mentioned, you know, you've covered this on a lot of other interviews, so we'll get into it straight away. But previously, you were kind of worked in media, and then you started investing in HMOs, I think with your dad, and buying them at auction. And now you've kind of built up this portfolio and built a management company around it. But I hope you don't mind me asking, how many houses are you up to now with you and your JVs and that?
So we're on 21 HMOs. Well, that's a mixture of, yeah, it's mostly student HMOs, but there's also a small mixture like a 2-bedroom flat and a studio, which, yeah, I basically combined as one unit and class it as a HMO. But yeah, it's 21 properties in total now.
Mate, that's incredible. And of course, obviously won't go into the exact numbers, but I'm sure that produces a lovely cash flow figure, being that they are HMOs.
Yeah, it puts dinner on the table, Justin. Let's put it that way.
And obviously, you've got the management company as well, which
yes. Yeah.
How many are you managing now?
Yeah, so the management company kind of come around from my first HMO, because basically I was looking for an agent to kind of manage it, and that's where I fell into management. And I saw a gap because I thought, well, the tenants are complaining, because I was a tenant and I had a crap landlord. And then as well, I was meeting landlords who had HMOs in the area, and they were just saying, look, I've been through all the agents and they're diabolical, basically. They don't do what they say. And so I thought, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I was actually approached by a landlord when I was advertising for tenants, and she saw my ad and she said, look, would you be interested in managing? So I was like, well, yeah, this is what I do. And yeah, it just snowballed from there, mate. So yeah, we're now on 75 student HMOs that we manage. Yeah, so it's just under 300 students that we've got under.
Mate,
so
that's incredible.
It keeps you busy, that's for sure. But
yeah, I know it does, and I watch intently, and yeah, no, it's amazing to see someone grafting as much as you do. With student-leds, I mean, I think it's a bit of a loaded question. I think I know the answer, but did you get into it because A, you saw that gap from being a student yourself, and B, the cash flow, or is there any other particular reason there?
Yeah, so I've actually got 7 core key reasons why I've invested in it, and obviously I've adapted this over time. Obviously, I've got to know the market and the tenant type and their situation. But yeah, in a nutshell, it's basically I saw a gap in the market when I moved here to do my course at university in Medway, and yeah, like I said, my house was absolutely diabolical, Justin. Like to the point where, like I've mentioned this before, that my mum actually cried when she dropped me off. She was like, I can't believe I've let you move in there, basically, because it was like a charity shop. The best way to describe it was like a charity shop. They've just literally gone to the nearest charity shop, just picked out all this random furniture, put it into a magnolia and brown carpet house, and said, right, this is your home. And it was tired, it was dated, and it is a million miles away from where we are now with like student HMOs, like all ensuite, like really modern decor. There's an experience and there's a real vibe about it, but that just wasn't happening when I was a student. So that's kind of where the penny dropped. And so yeah, my 7 core reasons is basically, one is the guarantor route, which is the most secure. So basically with students, they haven't got a job. So they're basically more forthcoming. Their parents are more forthcoming to be the guarantor, which is great. So that's another thing I looked at, was like the security side of it. Secondly was their income, in terms of where are they going to get their rent money from. It's not like they're working and stuff like that. So they get it from the government, which again is the best source of funds you can get, because the government's not just going to go bust one day. Do you know what I mean? So that was another core reason. The next one is the tenancy type. So with students, the good thing that I love about students compared to professionals, for example, is that they'll come to you as a group. So they're already established, they know each other very well, And there's no like bitty arguments, which you can get when it's individuals that, like strangers that share a house. So yeah, and then also there's a big one which is the no council tax as well, which is massive at the minute, because obviously the councils are looking at always looking way at clawing money out of landlords, and they're doing the whole council tax per room banding, which as students is they're not applicable to it. So again, it's more profitable. So yeah, those are the kind of the top reasons why. But yeah, it's a lot easier now. I have dabbled in like professionals. I've dabbled in SA. SA is great, but it's very seasonal, and it's very high turnover. And yeah, it's just really, really high turnover, and that's something I didn't really want to do. And then the professional side, it's very bitty. Like they're very, very bitty. These guys, they come on like for, I don't know, say 6 months at a time. It's very hard to get them to secure anything after that, because they don't really know what's going on, whether they might meet someone, they might move in with someone, or their job might change, so they might have to relocate. So there's lots of variables with professionals compared to students. And that's another reason as well. It's very predictable, because they basically come to this area to go to university, so the whole timetable is, and the viewing schedules and all of that is centered around the uni. So it's very predictable, and yeah, once you get into that rhythm, that system, I've built a business around it, and it's just a lot easier. For me, it's the most profitable and the most secure property segment you can invest in, and obviously cash flow, it's better than buy to let.
That's it, yeah. Because I like the hands-off security side of buy-to-let, but obviously the cash flow isn't quite what HMO puts out. So it's combining two, best of both worlds, really, isn't it? Do you have with a student HMO? Do you have a gap in the summer where they leave, and then, or do they have to pay all year round, or?
No, so it's very hard in Medway because it's quite competitive. When I was at uni, we just about there was agents that were doing 12-month tenancy agreements, but even then it was like frowned upon, because it's like, come on, I'm at uni like 9 months of the year, you get an extra 3 months out of me, that's not fair. But yeah, we managed to squeeze that down to 11, but it works out quite well, because as I was saying, it all goes off by the September timeline, so you've got that 1 month where you can just get in there and blitz the house, make sure it's ready, licked and paint, it's all tidy, replace any furniture, all ready for the next cycle. So yeah, and that's the thing with student lets is you have to get into the cycle. You can't just go, oh, do you know what? I've just bought this house. I want to get into it today or next week. That's not going to happen. You have to time it in line with the university year. That's the key. And a lot of people don't get that. They come to me like in October. I'm like, Craig, I've just got this HMO, fill it with students. I'm like, mate, you missed the start of the year by a month. Why have you come now? So, and then there's that whole that dilemma. Do I just leave it empty until the next year, or do I fill it with professionals, or what do I do with it? And then usually when they mix it, they usually miss the boat for the next time. Do you know what I mean? Because they're after that short cash flow. But it's all about timing. Timing and location. Yes, location is key.
And then they all come in September. So yeah, no holidays for you in August then.
No, mate, it's hell. Honestly, between July and August, it's like, oh God, it's like my burnout. Honestly, it's my burnout phase. Yeah, it's just mental. But obviously, I've got systems in place and stuff like that, and I've got people. I've got good members of the team that know the score now. But even so, like, it's just that where we've got those 75 houses in a month, you've got to sort out. So that's over like 2 a day that you've got to sort out. In your head, oh, that's not that much, but it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Good job you're a grafter, eh?
Well, this is it, mate. That's it. You got to roll your skis. And to be honest, when I was in my 20s, like my early to late 20s, I was relentless, and I was doing crazy hours. Obviously now I've got family, I'm starting to take back. But yeah, still, I just can't help it. I have to be hands-on sometimes and just make sure everything's going right, because I know full well that when you run these things so tightly, there's just very, very low margin for error. So if something goes wrong, or if a cleaner misses a bedroom, or they don't clean under a bed and there's like something nasty under there, when the tenants move in, they'll always hold that against you, because you've just started off the tenancy on a bad, oh, you never checked my bedroom, but do you know what I mean? And they'll always use that. So it's got to be perfect every time. Otherwise, yeah, they'll hold it against you.
No, I respect that as well. You know, holding it to high standards. Taking off on a tangent a bit. Do you do rent to rent with that? Or?
No, I have tried it. I've put some flyers out there. Obviously, when it was quite like it was a buzz about 2 years ago, I thought, oh, this sounds good. But again, it's all with students. It's all about the timing. So I managed to secure, like, say, 3 properties, but they wanted rent now. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, well, I can't give you rent now until I get paid, which is in September. And then they were like, well, we're not going to be prepared to do that. And I was like, I was trying everything to do it, but I wasn't going to do up their property, then pay for like 9 months worth of rent when I'm not getting income. It just didn't make sense. So maybe if I tried it the professional route, maybe, but again, I just don't want to go that route. I'll stick to what I know and what works.
I guess also with the JV route, you get the best of both worlds, because you've got the ownership, and with the JV partner, then when 12 months, 2 years, 5 years down the line, you can refinance that property, split the money with your JV partner, or go again, can't you? So
yeah,
100%. That's the right play in the long term, isn't it? And playing the long game of it, that's the thing to do. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think I offer quite a good joint venture service. I think it's quite unique. Basically, yeah, I'll do absolutely everything. I will find the properties, manage the renovation, handle the tenancy, everything. And all my JV partners have to do is basically just put the cash in. That's all they need to do.
Yeah.
And they can learn from me and stuff like that. And also what's also very, very quite unique about it is I offer them basically 100% security. So I don't take a penny out of the deal until they're paid back in full. So whatever you put in, once it's up and running and the rent's flowing, I don't see a penny. I just pass it straight back to you. All the profit goes straight back to you until you're paid off. Any refinance gets paid back to you. And so therefore it works both ways, because it's in my interest to make sure you're paid back sooner, and it's in my interest that property is basically generating money, looking its best, and being renovated cost effectively, because ultimately you get paid quicker, and then I can get my profit, my take from it. Because if it's non-profitable, it doesn't work, then I'll be sitting on this for like, I've done the work for nothing basically. So it worked quite well, and to be fair, it's attracted some great people. Big shout out to the Sams and the Michelles and the Victors of this world, who are all my JV partners, and we're doing some really good things. So
no, it's great, mate, and I hear and see it growing. So I know you must be doing something right, which is really good. When you've got 21, it was 21, wasn't it, properties, and you've got that many that you manage, are you doing the refurbishments yourself, or are you've got a team for that as well? Or
I've got the team now, so I kind of cherry pick what I do, so to speak, because I can't manage like a HMO portfolio, be like a dad and do a renovation. It would just kill me. So basically what I do now is I've got a team that I've built through the agency, so to speak. So basically, because I've got the agency, that allows me to obviously deal with people on a day-to-day basis. I can also check their work, and because I've got a dad that brought me up in that background, I can see their workmanship and stuff like that. So I say to them, look, I'm just about to take on the property, or do you know anyone? And 9 times out of 10, they've got like a builder friend that works locally. And I try them out, and it's working really well. So what I tend to do is just site visit. Like I'm a PM basically, so I'll go in there and I'll take a look at works, and I'll say, right, how are we doing on this? Judge the timescale, look at the costings, make sure we're all on budget. So it's gone from very hands-on to kind of site manager / only jumping hands-on when I need to. You know what I mean? So I like to do like some painting and stuff like that, just because it's cheap. Rather than paying, like I keep costs down by if I just do a bit of painting, and stuff like that.
That's one they normally slap a big charge onto, that you can save someone yourself, isn't it?
This is it. So and I think it's important when you're in that building phase that you do that. I mean, I could just go, do you know what, employ a PM manager and just have an easy life, but I'm not like that. I like to just keep a close net control on things because of the quality side. And I like to see what's going on, because for example, I went to a site that I'm working on at the moment in King Street, and the electrician was in there and he was just doing the final fixes. And I went into the cellar. I thought, you know what, I'll just check the cellar. And I went in there, and the TV socket and the TV point was like halfway up the wall. And I was like, mate, why is that up there? Like, the TV is going to go like eye level, not like break your neck when you look at it. And he was like, oh, I thought it was going to. And I was like, no, you've got to move that down. And that was just before the plasterers were going in, because once he's done that and the plasterers got in, that was it. It'd be undoing it. Yeah. So yeah, just little things like that. Like I go in and I say, no, that radiator needs to move there and stuff like that. Because builders, although they've got the plans in front of them and stuff, in their head, oh, that should go there, or that would look better there. And sometimes they mean well, but they got to understand that I'm doing something to a very high spec. It's my brand, it's my image, my reputation. So it's got to be very specific. So, and thankfully my team have now learned that. So yeah,
they know the standards they got to meet.
I know it. I'm cracking the whip. They know
it. And I mean, on that, and obviously with the huge amount of stuff you've got going on, you've obviously built up the phrase or built up the quote, "Big up the grafters." Can I get a big one from you?
Big up the grafters.
What does that expression mean for you? Is it just the work ethic behind everything?
Exactly that, mate. So I suppose being a grafter for me is all about going above and beyond to get where you want to get to a bit faster, basically. Yeah. So yeah, big up the grafters. It kind of, I did an Instagram once, like saying like big up the grafters, the dream chasers, and something like that. And then someone like messaged me from a site saying like big up the grafters, and then I started like saying it back, and then it just caught on. And next thing you know, people like message me on weekends like big up the Sunday grafters and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, it's all about mindset. It's like we've all done like a 9 to 5. We're not content. We want to get better and more freedom, and we want to go places. And just being a grafter, that hands-on mentality, you can't beat it. Like, you don't even have to be the smartest person in the room. As long as you're out working everyone, you're going to do well, and you're going to get, and most importantly, you're going to get fulfillment out of it. Like, I bet you, like with me, I love the transition of turning this like a wreck of a house into firstly a high cash flowing asset. And obviously where people come in and they're like, oh my God, I love what you've done here. And they really appreciate your work. That you can't beat it. And then that's what they call the bug. And then once you've got that, you just want to keep doing it because it works and it gives you good money and ultimately freedom. So yeah.
I do have to say some weekends when I'm thinking I've absolutely trashed, I've done so much, and I think I've got another 2 hours to go, I think big up the grafters, you know. So it's
that's it, mate. That's it. Yeah, I also love like the high energy. Like, I think that if you like have like an energy drink and then put some like house tunes on, and then you just like, you know, and you have fun with it. And like you said, because painting a wall is dull. Like when you actually boil it down, like painting a house or doing any kind of work, it's quite dull. But when you're having fun with it, and then you get that mindset behind it, you go, do you know what? And you share it as well. That's the great thing with social media, is that you share it, then you just get that buzz about it, and you enjoy it, and it just keeps you going. So that's what
I love it. Honestly, love it. One more property one, and then we'll move on to another topic which I'm interested to talk to you about. When you're buying properties, have you built up enough contacts and people within the industry in your area that you can just go to agents, or do you do direct to vendor? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, so right now the market is like bananas. Like, it is madness. I don't know if you've been experiencing it yourself, but in the Medway towns, like everything has just gone through the roof. It's gone mental. And like any viewings, like there's 30 people to a viewing, or the phones are like non-stop. You can't even get through to the agent. So on moments like that, yes, like my network is fantastic, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, over the years, because I've invested locally, and my business sense is like a no bullshit approach, I'll say to them, look, I'll give them this money, no bullshit about, I'll go through with it and true to my word. And over time, the local agents have got to know who I am, what I'm looking for, how I work, and basically it's brilliant, because as soon as, like, say a deal drops out, they'll call me up and be like, oh, Craig, look, we just had a deal fall through. This is it. Are you interested? And straight away, I'll be like, look, give me 5 minutes. Let me run through the numbers. Let me come and see it. And then I'll give them a straight answer. What I don't do is like go, oh yeah, I'll give you like 30% below market value, because yeah, in this market particularly, you can't, if you get away with it, fine, great. But I'm yet to find someone who could in a market like this to get like away with ridiculous offers, especially to agents, because they've got to look that vendor in the face and go, do you know what? I've just secured you a decent like purchase price with a buyer that we know, we've worked with before. Here's his proof of funds. Do you know what I mean? It's completely different to like, so someone off like a Samuel Leeds course that will just go, yeah, I'll give you 30% below market value.
Yeah.
And also that one that we viewed last week and the week before that, I'll give you another 30%. Do you know what I mean? They're not specific on that property. They're just firing, hoping that something hits.
Yeah.
I'm not like that.
No, it's interesting. I've been there and done that, tried that, and to an extent, I still slightly do it. But if I find something where the numbers work, it doesn't matter if it's below market or if it's on market. If the numbers work, buy it.
Yeah.
Especially the way the market is, it's probably going to go up, anyway in the next 2, 5, 10 years, isn't it?
100%.
So no, that's really interesting, and again, a credit to what you've built up and the contacts you've built, and obviously operating in your area, which is Gillingham, isn't it? Is that right?
That's correct. So it's the midway town. So Gillingham is like my primary one, yeah. But there's also Rochester as well, which is like another midway town where there's universities basically. So yeah, that's where I keep my core focus, and it's brilliant because as soon as something comes on the market, I'm so quick to react. It leaves people like who are outside the area that can only view on Saturdays or Sundays. They don't even get a look in, especially if there's something that's red hot that I'm after. I'm literally just straight in there, asking price, here my proof of funds, me, like blah, blah. I'll even give like £1,000. In worst case, I'll even give like £1,000 cash to the agent and say, look, pass that on to the seller and say, look, take that off the asking price, but just to show him I'm not mucking about. And if I pull out for whatever reason, he can take that money. So, and again, they're like, well, I can't argue with that. Let's go with this guy. So
you don't have many people competing with that. So, and as an agent as well, you just want what's best for your client, but you also want kind of an easiest route, which is you if they trust you and know you. So.
Yeah, that's right. And those are my tactics.
Good.
Or another one, Justin, as well. He said that I'll say to him, look, if we agree this price, I'll go with you for your solicitor and also your in-house mortgage broker. So also the agent gets a kickback then, and he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. And also the seller prefers that because we're using it in-house, so they can see that we're good for it. Whereas some people, they bring their own solicitor or their own mortgage broker in who haven't done the right checks and stuff like that, and it could all just crumble later on down the line. So
yeah, really valid point there. So no, I think that's an amazing tip for anyone listening. And if you want to get in there, get an offer accepted quickly, it's a couple of good things for you there. Talk to me about crypto. We'll get into it. But when you first heard the hype, did you think about look, property is my game, I'm going to stick to that?
Honestly, yeah. So for those that don't know, I've only started investing in crypto in the last 2 months. And that was on the birth of my daughter, Sienna. And basically, I've been watching it. I've been watching Bitcoin for best part of a year, and I've just seen it going up and up and up. And I thought, this is too good to be true. And like the rate that it was going up, it was absolutely phenomenal. And I wanted to get in when it was 20,000. So I watched it and I didn't. I bottled it. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then the thing just like literally doubled to 40,000, and I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to do it. And then basically on the night my fiance was in labour, I was on my phone and something come up like, I invest in Bitcoin. And I was like, right, I'm doing it tonight. If I'm going to do it, I'm doing it tonight. So I invested in it, and I pumped in like $5,000, and I just bought Bitcoin. That was it. I didn't know about the other altcoins or anything like that. And then, basically I just started watching it, and I was messaging my mates going, oh, I'm finally like in the Bitcoin scene. And I was earning like £1,000 in like a space of like a week, and I was like, oh my god! But it's very volatile. I was going up, down, so I was like, oh my god! When you first get into it, you're kind of like a day trader. You're just watching it, like going up, down. You're like, oh, shall I sell? Shall I buy? And I've learned you can't be like that. It's very volatile, so it's always going to go up and down. And if you look too much into that, you'll drive yourself mad. So what I've looked at is just the trend, like the natural trend. So it could go up and down like a million times in a day, but as long as the upward trend is up and bullish, then we're good. So yeah, that's kind of literally where I started. I had a little inkling. The returns attracted me to it. The hype attracted me to it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw some money in. Let's see. And I started off with, that was it. I started off with my holiday budget. So I thought, you know what, I'll put my holiday budget in because I'm not going on holiday anytime soon. This was like during February, it was like COVID. So I thought I'll put my holiday budget in there and see where it goes, and I'll take it all out in July. So yeah, that was kind of the start of it. Yeah.
So you started with 5? Did you say 5K?
I put in 5 initially. Yeah.
And what are you on now?
So let's have a look at what I'm on. Like this morning, it was on 85,000. I know it's gone down a little bit. Let's have a look. Yeah. So all right. So yeah, I'll show you now. So it's on 80. 83, yeah. So it's a bit, yeah, it's got a bit. It's
legitimately 5 to 83, or have you put in more?
No. So I put more money in it. So I'm probably in my own money. After the £5 grand, I saw the returns. I thought, well, the more you put in, the more you get out. And then I started really researching the other coins and saw the gains that they were giving you above Bitcoin. So yeah, all in, I'm roughly in about 55 grand now. So 55 grand, and I've got like 83 there. So yeah, just under 30 grand profit. So in 2 months,
yeah, I know. That's the mental side. You know, just it's crazy, right? You know, I've held some XRP or Ripple from 2018. I waved goodbye to that investment because it obviously sank for a couple of years. But finally, now we've seen some gains from that. But obviously, they only come when you sell.
Yeah, I read today that it was up like 100% because it comes up on my little alerts thing. I was like, what? I'm not invested in XRP. But yeah, I was like, wow. So you basically, whoever bought it at that point doubled their money, like in like 24 hours. It's mad. It's mental.
Crazy. Yeah. So with that in mind and with property in mind, if you were stripped of everything tomorrow and you've got 0 in terms of properties, but you've got, I don't know, 100K in the bank, okay? You're only allowed to choose one, right? Are you investing in property or crypto?
It's got to be crypto. If it was tomorrow, 100% crypto. Like, no shadow of doubt. I'm even contemplating, Justin, selling one of my houses.
No,
like, don't. Looking at my portfolio, I'm thinking of selling my weakest house and pumping it into crypto. But the problem is, it's going up so fast that by the time the house sale goes through, the Bitcoin will be worth like triple the house. Like, do you know what I mean? So it won't even be worth it. But no, honestly, if you said to me tomorrow you're going to lose everything, but I'm going to give you £100,000 because of where we are in the time. And again, this is something that you should research, is that historically, April and May have been the best performing months for crypto, like since it began. So that's why I was like, okay. So when I made my gains, I was thinking, shall I pull out? Shall I pull out? Shall I cash out? And then I thought, well, I read this and I thought, well, why should I pull out in March when April and May are meant to be even better? And like if you've been following my Instagram, you'll see that it's just been going up and up and like crazy amounts, like 6 grand in 24 hours, like 8 grand last week. It's just been absolutely mind blowing. And yeah, don't get me wrong, it goes up and it comes down as well, but then it shoots back up. But like I said, as long as it's an upward trend, it doesn't matter how far, as long as it goes back up, we're good. So yeah, so sorry, the short answer is 100% crypto.
And would you go in for 6 months, double your money and go and buy property, or you just stay in crypto?
Oh, I would definitely come out and I would definitely. I'd hold Bitcoin. So the way I structure my portfolio is 50% Bitcoin. 25% alt, like the medium to bigger altcoins, like the Ethereums and stuff like that in this world, and then 25% smaller altcoins. That's where the biggest gains are, basically. But the Bitcoin is the most steady. It's like it's the big daddy of the crypto world, and so that's not going to go anytime soon. So I would hold that. I think it's an interesting debate. Because, I mean, I've forgotten his name now. He's an investor, a good friend of yours. Also on Instagram, tattoos.
Oh, Aaron.
Aaron, that's it. Yeah, Aaron Knightley. That's it. Sorry, his name's
Aaron.
Yeah. He's big on his like gold and stuff like that, and I love his content as well. And he tags me in a few posts as well, which is great. But interestingly, now during COVID, gold should be thriving. It should be doing amazing because obviously the economy's a bit dodgy. We've just had a pandemic, but it's dipping. And on the flip side of that, crypto's going up, and interestingly, some more people that I speak to who have invested in gold are taking their money out and pumping it into crypto, which is really interesting because like I said, now is the best time. Well, in theory, gold now could be thriving, but it's not. It's going down, and Bitcoin is creeping up. So
they tend to work opposites, don't they? So
that's it. Yeah.
What cryptos on your radar to invest in the next week, couple of weeks, months, anything? Or you already in it all?
I invest in quite a few. Yeah, I've really hedged my bets. Just because they all do different things. So there's different like categories. So there's like obviously DeFi, there's NFTs, there's smart contracts. But the big, whenever this video goes out, hopefully it's not before Wednesday. But the big thing this week is all about Coinbase, which is all about the exchange where you can buy crypto, and basically they're going to IPO this week, and the valuation is meant to come in. It's meant to be the most hyped up IPO of the year. Like every investor that does stock, shares, crypto knows about this IPO. Like everyone knows about it, and it's receiving a lot of hype already. They reckon it's going to open at like 100 billion valuation, which is absolutely insane. So that if I was to invest in anything, I would invest in starting off. If you want like kind of dead cert, well, nothing's ever dead cert, but if you want highly likely gains, I would invest in the Coinbase coin if you can get hold of it, or any of the other exchanges such as Binance or Qcoin, I think is the other one. And also on Coinbase, look at what coins are on that, because they're going to see a bump as well. To be fair, I think that's why this week it's gone mad. It is because of the build up to Wednesday. So come Wednesday, I'm screaming down the phone with excitement.
Are you buying it? Are you buying the Coinbase IPO?
If I can get hold of it, but it's a decent price. But usually it will go and it will just come straight back down. Because everyone buys and then sells, because that's the hype of it. But exactly. So I mean, I'll probably, I don't know, I'll just probably monitor it, because I've never seen anything like this before. Like this is like a learning thing for me, and I don't want to buy it like at the top and then like sold. I'm like, no, it'll just be a killer. So yeah, I might throw some like £500 into it, see what happens. Just to see.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I'm interested in the knock-on effects with the other stuff.
No, of course. And I guess the last or one of the last big questions on crypto for me would be, when are you going to realize these gains, and what are you going to do with the money?
Good question. So I am going to pull out. The game plan has always been pull out in July. So whatever I've put in, regardless if I'm up, down, whatever, is to take it out in July. Okay, but that was before I started like going into Bitcoin, the potential of Bitcoin and stuff like that. So what I'll probably do is I'll leave the Bitcoin in there, because the Bitcoin I feel is only going to go up, because as you know, there's only a finite amount of it. Once those 21 million coins have been mined, that's it. So we're probably like say 4 or 5 years away from that point, but you've seen the gains since 2007. It keeps doubling, whatever. So I'm intrigued that what's going to happen that way. But with regards to everything else, I'll probably just get rid of it. And that's what I'll use to, I don't know, even buy another house, or I might use it as a bit of fun. I might even buy like a flash car with it. I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I might enjoy it, but I will put it out. As I said, I'll definitely put it out. I'll definitely be taking the missus, because she's like, well, you better take us on holiday. I'm seeing like all this money you're making. I'm like, yes, mate, it's an investment. Like, you've got to leave it. Yeah, but I was definitely going on a lovely holiday, like bare minimum.
Yeah, nice holiday. Maybe a Lambo, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
No, honestly, mate, it's really interesting to get your insight into it, because I think a huge portion of the property, industry on Instagram certainly have been following along with eager eyes, because some of us have been, very on the verge of, do we get more involved? Do we not? Surely we stick to property because it cash flows, whereas, crypto, Bitcoin doesn't. But I think it's incredibly interesting that you have gone, actually, let's try this. Let's open my mind up to a different type of investment. So yeah, no, I do think it's interesting, and it's a controversial topic at the moment for some, because this, and even for me, because I'm very much stuck in my lane, of property, but I do have a little bit of crypto, but that's more maybe to do with the funds side of things, but I don't have a huge amount to sort of smash out on loads of different things. But I really appreciate you talking on crypto, and also about property. I know you're a busy man, so I won't keep you any longer. Just one more.
Thanks for having me, Justin. Honestly, I love talking about this stuff. Honestly, it really does.
No. I honestly appreciate you coming on. And one more question for you, if that's all right, and then I'll let you go.
Far away, mate.
Where are you in 5 years' time?
5 years' time. Oh, good question. So 5 years' time, I think I'm still going to have the HMO business.
Yeah.
I think I might have an additional property business, whether it be serviced accommodation, or I might even be in a different area. Because, like I said, the property markets around here, it's just gone mad. And we're now talking like £250,000 for a house, right? And that's before you've done the work. That's before you've done like the loft conversions and all the rest of it. So the yield is a lot smaller. It's getting a lot weaker. Although the rents are like kind of staying constant. And yeah, you can argue you can put up the rates, but not that much. So in my head, I'm thinking, do you know what? I might start looking for elsewhere. In terms of a different location or a different strategy to this area, just because, I always knew this was gonna happen eventually, that the prices would go, and and I think that time is very, very near. 5 years time, let's mark my words. I think either a serviced accommodation business, a different area that I'm investing in, and in 5 years' time, hopefully the crypto cycle would have come back round, and I'll have that second Lambo on the drive, Justin.
What I've heard from that is you're still grafting away. You're not retired on the beach yet.
Oh no! When I'm 50, because I think you know this already, but by the time I'm 50, I want 50 houses.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Again, work with JVs, but I think the big pivotal moments, the big changes is definitely the service accommodation in a different area, and just keep doing what I'm doing, mate. That's what's working.
Mate, keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring a lot of people, including myself. So keep sharing it.
Appreciate it. Oh, I will.
So, all right, mate. Well, thanks again. Thanks for coming on. Anyone watching, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit up Craig for that JV.
Thanks again. There I am. Yeah, guys. So one more time. Big up the grafters.
Thanks again, mate. See ya.
Cheers, mate. See ya.